Welcome and thanks for joining me right here on the channel. The solution is you. I hope that you are enjoying your day. I do appreciate each of you for stopping by the channel. If you enjoyed the content, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. With that, let me go ahead and get into today's subject. Now, the topic of today, 6 reasons to not involve family in your relationship troubles. Now, the thing about family is usually a good, healthy family looks out for you. They want the best for your relationship. They always give advice on ways you can improve your communication within your relationship. Family is providing tips on ways that you can make things interesting, such as getting your spouse and going out to maybe a new restaurant or looking to do something that is edgy to bring some type of new feel to the relationship in case you guys have been together for some time. And family can be a great thing when it comes to relationships. They can suggest new ways to do new things, and they can tell you when you're going in the wrong direction. So today, I'm giving you 6 reasons to not involve family in your relationship troubles. Now, number one, your family member could have a bias. So typically, this is with parents. Parents look out for their own, so they're always looking out for their own child's interests. And this could be because they themselves were a part of a failed relationship that didn't work out for whatever reason. And the parent is protective of their child, and they may have a lot of similarities when it comes to dealing with others or in relationships. And this parent is overly protective of her daughter. This could also be a situation where there's a mother that is showing bias towards her son because she's jealous that he has moved out of the house or has moved on to be with the woman of his dreams. And as soon as there's some trouble in the relationship, she uses that as an excuse to get him back to the house. So you have to be very careful and attentive of your woman or women with your man to make sure that each of your needs are being met so that you keep family from getting into your business and becoming a problem in your relationship. Now, number two, gossip fest. So, man, I know you've experienced this with your woman at one time or another when you're getting into it or you don't see eye to eye on a particular issue. And maybe this is a situation that has gotten out of hand. And maybe you have a woman that it doesn't matter how how difficult the situation is, or it doesn't have to be anything that serious. This could be a woman that goes back and she can't wait to tell her mother everything that has been going on in a relationship, or maybe this could be an aunt or something, and she needs to tell her play by play of everything that has been going on with you in the relationship. And so don't you hate it when word gets back to you of something that you and your woman has supposed to be keeping to yourselves, and some other relative brings it up and you catch wind of this, and you're upset because this is something that was supposed to be secretive. Maybe this was a situation where your woman has a mother or a father that is deep into church or something like that, and you two have gotten into it, and your woman has went back and told some information that was going on between you two, and maybe the father came to you, and maybe in front of a group setting or something, he said, well, if you put them beers down and pick up a Bible, you wouldn't be going through this. Or this could be a situation where the mother is trying to front you out, maybe in front of some other family members at a family dinner or something like that. Maybe you all are at the table and everybody's preparing to eat, and out of nowhere, you and your woman just start to get into it a little bit, and then maybe her mother says something like, well, if you wouldn't be watching all of that porn, y'all wouldn't be going through all of this now, would you? And you have to really be careful and make sure that your woman understands when and when not to give up information, and how to keep things between you two, because once things like this get out, I mean, you just become laughing stock, and everybody's taking shots at you when you really don't need it, and things can, turn ugly when you are in a family environment when everybody's around all in your business. Now, number three, the family may just not like you at all. So they have a huge dislike for you. So they just are looking for a reason, any reason that they can get their hands on as to why they shouldn't, or why your woman shouldn't deal with you. Now, I know somebody has been in this situation before when you're around family, the in-laws, and you just really don't want to go over there because they always have this attitude towards you when you come over. And you can't even think of any particular reason as to why they would be upset with you. A lot of times it could just be success. Sometimes you may be so successful and you're running your relationship so perfectly that people just hate on you. And family is no exception. It's that sometimes you seem like you got it all together. You got your woman doing the things that you need her to, and maybe she's communicating when there's a little spat or something like that between you two. Maybe she was upset about something and she snapped on you. So she decided to just give this information to maybe her cousin or somebody. And they just looking for some dirt just to get upset with you so they can have a reason to go off on you. And I know somebody has been in this situation where you really don't want to go over and deal with the in-laws, or it's a couple of family members that just don't like you for whatever reason, and they can't explain why. They just always give you that look when you're around, even when they come over. Don't you hate it when you have the relatives that you don't really care for, and they have already announced that they're on their way over to your place? So when they come over to your spot, they're gonna be over at least about a good 2 to 3 hours. So now you gotta entertain some individuals that you don't really care that much about. And so they're just looking for something, looking for a reason, something that they don't like about you, in order to use that to justify why they should take your spouse's side, even though you're doing everything you're supposed to. So sometimes in life, no matter what you do, there will always be those that don't like you, and family falls in that category. Number four, controlling. So family can be controlling in situations where they feel like you as a man in the relationship are not making the right decisions. So there could be situations where they believe that you put their relative in at a great risk. Maybe you had her waiting too long at the job before you picked her up, or it could be that you can't keep a car running. So every time you look around, the car that you've bought is always breaking down. So your woman always has to hitch a ride with someone. So if every time something happens and maybe it's you this time that goes and you try to reach out to one of your family members, maybe it's your dad or something like that, trying to get some advice, and this is something that keeps happening. Then at some point, I guess he may feel that you don't have the situation under control. So now he's calling you almost every day to give you tips on what you need to be doing and how you need to do it and when you need to do it. Putting your wife on the phone, maybe y'all on speakerphone, and he's talking to y'all at the same time, trying to tell you what you need to do and how she needs to listen. Or you, and it's always some type of situation where they're basically the parents are talking down to you. Have you ever been in that situation where you feel like you've being talked down to, and that you've lost all control of your relationship, and you feel like a child, like somebody's trying to tell you what to do and how to do it, when to do it. So you have to be very careful about involving family in your relationship because everybody has a say so. And the thing about this is they don't have a genuine interest, especially if they're not paying your bills or making any purchases that's going to benefit your household. And they all they have is just judgment. So you have to be careful about this because this can put you in a situation where it can make things extremely worse. Now, number 5 is favoritism. And this is more for the women, where you have a guy who is living a lavish lifestyle and he's introduced you to this lifestyle as well as your parents. And maybe there is some things, women, that you have um, that you've discovered about your man, and that you really didn't appreciate or didn't like. Maybe he was flirting and flirting with other women, and or maybe he was disrespecting you or something, and or didn't acknowledge your feelings or something like that, and he's covering all of this up by buying you items. So he's buying also your mother and maybe your dad or something, sending them money, taking care of any debts, maybe buying them gifts on the regular, including jewelry, and giving them money in order to keep them quiet. And so any issue that you bring up to your family, they're basically brushing it to the side because your man is taking care of everybody. And so there's no reason for them to complain because they're getting all of their needs met. So anything that he does, even if it's something disrespectful, they're going to brush it to the side and say you need to just kind of bear with him and he's just going through a moment or something like that. So this can go both ways. But this is definitely one you have to look out for, the favoritism that's based on material items and not based in the wholesomeness of your relationship, and making sure things are fair and making sure things are being respectful. And number 6, in the 6 reasons to not involve family in your relationship troubles, you could be dealing with a rogue relative. Now, this is for the men. So, men, I know we've all experienced that one time or another when you get into it with your woman and you've been shouting back and forth, and maybe you called her some names, called a name that you shouldn't have, and maybe you cut off, you haven't been giving her money, or maybe you haven't been picking her up, or you haven't been answering the phone calls. But after time of all of this toxicity, maybe you two are living in separate places. Maybe she's staying with her mom. She's told her mom everything that went down or something, or and you staying at your own place or whatever. So y'all two have kind of went your own way just temporarily until things cool down. Man, how many times have you went around your woman and she's looking extremely good? Now, your woman probably has been looking, very good when you two were together. That's why you're together, because she's, a nice looking woman. But For some reason, when you go your own way, even if it's for a couple of weeks, you stop talking to each other. And let's say you're going over a mother's house to visit her. She's looking extremely good. Went out of her way to have her hair done and just maybe she has on a nice skirt and the lotion down and the toenails are on point, fingernails are done. And this could be a situation where you just happen to be passing by a house and she's outside talking to some other guy. And this guy, he may be a relative of the family. So this could be a male cousin. This could be a stepfather. And she's outside talking and she has the tight jeans on and maybe she has a tank top or she has the lip gloss shining and everything is just like catching your attention and you just fuming up because your woman is looking so good and it looks like she just went out of her way to just do it up and she's talking to some other guy. You ever been in this situation? So this could be a time where your woman has went and pleaded to another man and this man just happened to be maybe the stepfather, or this could be a male cousin or something, and she's been talking to him about the way you've been treating her or the way she believes she's been done in the relationship, and that she's kind of tired and that she can't, deal with you anymore or something like that. And she's done went out of her way to get all done up, getting all types of attention. And the reason why this is dangerous is because if she's going and she's giving all this information to some other guy, regardless of its family, but this may be a relative that's trying to take advantage of the situation. So sometimes you can have those rogue stepfathers or male cousins who's just looking for an opportunity to get in there. And this could be a guy that is using the excuse that you two were going through something and that she was just needing some type of attention. He could use this as a reason to be slapping it behind the scenes. This goes on a lot where your woman is looking for attention. She's putting on the tight shorts and the lip gloss is extra shiny and she's licking her lips and all of this, sending all types of wrong signals. And the guy is just not even listening to actually what's being said, but he's looking at what he could be getting. And he could be slapping this behind the scenes. I thank you for listening to me today. Please understand that the solution is you. With that, have a great day.